Whenever I'm inspecting one of my hives, I have two main goals. One of them is to get in and out of that hive as quickly as I can. And second, have a plan for when I'm going into that hive. And that can vary with the type of hive you have. It can be a new hive that's, let's say, a swarm, or you may have a big hive that's got the brood box and several honey supers. And so you need to have individual plans. The other thing that's important is to understand that take good notes. Now, whether you record that on your phone or have a 3-ring binder, I have a 3-ring binder that I number every one of my hives, and I have details of what I do in that hive during any sort of inspection. I happen to inspect my hives from the back of the hive. I don't want to get in front and disturb the bees if I can. But before I even open the hive, the first thing I do is I inspect the yard to see what's going on. Sometimes, on 3 different occasions, I'm fortunate enough to have some bushes and some trees near my hives. I've found swarms up in the trees. And I was able to capture them and put them back in. So I check the yard, then I start looking at each individual hive. One, just to make sure structurally, is it still sound? Is it sitting up on its stand properly? And then as I go through each hive, the first thing I look at is the entrance and see what's happening with the bees that are coming and going. Do they seem like they're all kind of happy and moving out and going to find forage? The bees that are coming back, are they coming in? Do they have pollen? As a rule of thumb, I kind of think if every 3rd bee is bringing in pollen, then that's great. It's telling me the hive's doing well. I then do a little bit of smoke into the front entrance, and since I use a screen bottom board, sometimes I'll even pump a bit of smoke up into the screen bottom board. I then pull the hive roof off, and the one thing I do is, even before I pull the screen top board, I will look under that top roof section, because I found small hive beetles all the way up into there. And when I'm first opening the hive, I'm looking for pests, looking for the small hive beetles. Once I've got the top off, I have the screen top board, and I look into the hive, the first level. It could be the brood box, or it could be the first honey super. And I look just to see the number of bees that are there. Does it look like it's full, it's active, it's doing its job? I put the Swiffer strips in my hives. I put them up on, if it's got honey supers, I put them on that level. And I look for any hive beetles that we could have captured. Then once I've opened it up a little bit more, I either have 10 frames, or when I get to the honey super, sometimes I only put 9 frames in. And I also use a separator that gets the right distance for those 9 frames. So I make sure those frames are still in the right position. I then start in the middle and pull the first frame out. I look both sides. I don't pull it very far. I just pull it out enough that I can look at it. And then I begin to look on either side of the frames that are still down in there. Again, if it's the honey supers, I'm seeing, are they completely full, or are they partially full? A lot of times when you're looking down into the hive, you'll see honeycomb, and it looks like the frame's full, but it may be only half full. Then I'll usually skip over, once to the right, once to the left, and pull that frame up. Again, doing the same thing, looking to see if I see anything that doesn't look right. And then I put it back in and really try to do as little inspection as possible. If everything's good, many times I won't even go down to the brood box if it's looking good. If I kind of see things that don't look quite right, I will go on down. I use queen excluders. I prefer using the metal queen excluders. And so when I get into the brood box, I use the same technique. I go in, pull the middle frame, look at it, see what's going on. And again, I've got notes from the last time I was there, and I review those notes before I look at the hive. I kind of know where it was before, and I'm really looking for progress. or lack of progress, and it kind of tells me what the hive's been doing. Um, After that, I'm just kind of looking, if I see something that just isn't right, and it's not too often, but something sometimes, unfortunately, wax moths have gotten in there, or the hive beetles, and then I'll try to take whatever steps are necessary. But again, when inspecting your hive, be patient, but be quick and have a plan for any time you go into your hive.